Hey, it's Kim Commando today, your daily podcast to keep you up to date with all things digital and beyond. And I'd love to have you be a part of our podcast. You can make an appointment to speak with me. Just head over to commando.com, and on the top right, there's a button that says Email Kim. Fill that out, and that's it. All right, so I don't know if you heard, but Canada finally joined the U.S. and Britain, Australia, and New Zealand. How? What was this? Canada has finally banned the Chinese tech company's equipment and telecommunication stuff on its 5G network. We already banned that here in the United States. The name of the company? Yes, you know, Huawei. And the reason? Because of major concerns over national security. Now, some people didn't believe this when I told them the other day. Yes, it's Trudeau. Yes. And Canada said it's no way to Huawei. Yes. And they get better. I promise you. I work hard at this. And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another hour of the Kim Commando Show. And of course, you can find us on over 425 top stations from coast to coast, and we're streaming in your favorite radio app. And you can find us streaming as a podcast on demand, webcast 24/7, whatever you want, commercial free, over at getkim.com. You can also hear the Kim Commando Show, the nation's most trusted show about all things digital, on the American Forces Network Radio, serving more than 375,000 American servicemen and women in 175 countries and 200 ships at sea. And of course, I know that you have at least 12 questions about something digital, and that's why I'm here for you. And our T-Mobile Unlimited listener line is now open at 1-888-825-5254 is the way to join us. And I'd like to thank LinkedIn for helping to make this show possible. As a small business owner juggling 100 balls in the air at once, yes, that's me, there's just no time to interview candidates who aren't qualified for the job. And that's where LinkedIn Jobs comes in to help you. LinkedIn Jobs makes it easier and faster than ever for you to find the people who you'd like to interview and ultimately who you'd like to hire, and you can do that for free. What? Yes, I said free. You can create a free job post in minutes to reach your network and beyond to the world's largest professional network of over 770 million people. Then you can add your job and the purple hashtag hiring frame to your LinkedIn profile to spread the word that you're hiring. Just makes sense. You have simple tools like screening questions, make it super easy to focus on candidates with just the right skills and experience so you can quickly prioritize who you'd like to interview and hire. LinkedIn Jobs, let me tell you, that just helps you find the candidates worth interviewing faster. And every week, nearly 40 million job seekers visit LinkedIn. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/Kim. That's linkedin.com/Kim. Terms and conditions apply. LinkedIn.com/Kim for that free job post. All right, let's start with 5 things that you need to know about tech, and it's happening right now. And the question is, will he or won't he? I mean, every single day, the speculation just increases surrounding Elon Musk. Is he really going to buy Twitter? And in the process, Musk is exposing Twitter's dirty little secret. You know what that is? Yes, it's bots, fake accounts, inactive accounts. These are Twitter customers and users that aren't really customers and users, but Twitter is using them as numbers when they're talking about just how big Twitter is. So Elon Musk is demanding that Twitter prove its claim, rightfully so. I mean, that 95% of all Twitter accounts are real. That's what Twitter says. But Musk tweeted that Twitter's CEO says, we're not going to show you proof of that. We're sorry. And so if you take a look at Elon Musk's Twitter account, for example, it shows, when I wrote this, 93.8 million followers. Okay. Now, if you zero in, only 26.8 million followers have tweeted in the last 90 days. What? Yeah. So there's this company called SparkToro, and they estimate that about 24% of Elon Musk's followers are bots. They're fake. They're spam accounts. So Musk says, I'm not moving forward until we know exactly how many fake accounts we're talking about. So Twitter claims that they have 229 million users. Musk says, all right, maybe it's not 5%, but I'll give you 20%. That's 45 million accounts that are phony, run by bots. The deal is going to happen, but this has given Elon Musk a whole new way to negotiate to get that number down. All right, how about number 2 on our list of things you need to know? It sounded like a good idea. I mean, why would we not want a disinformation governance board? Well, in reality, it was unconstitutional, downright Orwellian to control anything that was published on the internet. Everybody was up in arms about it. The White House has put the whole idea on hold and they sent its soon to be director just packing. And if you look at America's problems today, okay, what do we have? The sharp rise in violent crime. You have mass shootings, crippling cyber attacks, even this national shortage of baby formula. Who would have ever thought that? I mean, do we really want our government to police what we write, what we see, what we read online? And I want you to think about this. This is what happens every single minute on the internet. Every single minute, we have about 575,000 tweets that have been out there. We have 4 million people that are suddenly watching YouTube videos. We have 4,000 people reading Yelp reviews. We have 175,000 apps that are downloaded. This is every single minute. 16.2 million tweets, or texts rather, have been sent. 231 emails have been sent. So you can see these numbers are just astronomical. They're just huge. I mean, I'm not really sure how the Department of Homeland Security would think about policing all this when we have big tech out there saying, oh, even with our billions of dollars, we can't police what's on the internet. We don't really know what's going on. We can't stop all the bad videos and the conspiracy theories. But for some reason, DEHS said, no problem. We got that down. Wonder how. Let's look at number 3. Streaming is bleeding. That's right. Netflix and chill is turning to Netflix and kill. The data has shown this past week overall cancellations hit 3.5 million people in the last quarter. Okay. That's an increase from the 2.5 million cancellations in the past 5 quarters. Whoa, what's going on? What's happening is that there's just too many options out there, and Netflix has raised its price, but everybody's raising their prices. YouTube TV, when they came out, it was $40 in 2019. Now it's about $65 a month. Okay. Hulu increased their prices to $55 a month. And in 2020, they raised it again to $65 a month. So what this means is that if you haven't looked at all your streaming bills lately, you really need to just sit down and say, okay, how much am I really paying? And was it really worth all this time, effort, aggravation to cut the cable because I may be paying more? You want to look at that. But look on the bright side. After this whole pandemic, the kids are finally back in college in person and they're not on Zoom. Let me tell you, that was the most expensive streaming service that I've ever paid for. All right, number 4, crypto stars are now silent. What is going on there? Now, you might remember this past year's television broadcast of the Super Bowl. It was just loaded with celebrity endorsements for all sorts of cryptocurrency. Now, where are all these Hollywood types now? Now that, well, crypto has crashed. Okay. Think about this. NBC charged $7 million for each 30-second ad within the Super Bowl. And it was a complete sellout. And it was full of cryptocurrency ads. How about Matt Damon? He was there for crypto.com. And in his, he said, bravery is in a process ad comparing the invention of virtual money to the Wright brothers and the moon landing and telling potential investors just to be brave. Yes, crypto. Then there was Reese Witherspoon. Love her. Crypto is here to stay, she says, commercial. Gwyneth Paltrow, she was out there for Bitcoin. Paris Hilton was hawking Ether. Mila Kunis and comedian Larry David, they were in on it too. Now, this is what's interesting. The New York Times reached out to all these superstars for a reaction. What do you say now? Crickets. That's right. That's all they got. That's right. New York Times, they said they're still waiting for a response. And finally, number 5. Wow, finally, shopping carts are getting smart. I mean, you know the drill. You go to the supermarket, you grab a cart, you go through all the aisles, you put a whole bunch of stuff in your cart. I mean, think about this. And then you get to where the checkout is, and then you end up taking everything out of your cart to put it on a conveyor belt. And then for a cashier to scan it, and then to put it in bags, and then to put all that stuff in bags back in your cart so you can put it in your car. Wow. There's got to be a better way. Albertson is putting self-checkout grocery carts in some of their stores. They're made by a company called Veeve, and they're just loaded with tech. And by the way, this company called Veeve was founded by 2 former senior Amazon managers a couple of years ago. Here's how it works. So in case you see these in your stores, you get the cart and you go up and down the aisles. But these shopping carts use cameras and sensors, and then they start adding everything up as you pick stuff off the shelves and you place them in a cart. Take it out of the cart, it automatically knows to deduct it from your bill. but there's no checkout line. Wow. I mean, I tried the self checkout line. It's okay if you got like under five things. If you have over five things, the self checkout line is just a pain in the neck. Amazon has launched its own product called Dash Carts. Kroger's going to have them in their stores too. Can't come soon enough. This is a true story. My husband and I were watching a man pushing a shopping cart with a ladder on it down the street. And Barry said to me, do you think he asked to borrow the cart or do you think he stole that? I said, probably the latter. Get it? The latter. Wow. I thought it was funny. All right, let's talk about home title luck. I am totally skeptical by nature. When I first heard about home title theft, I was like, come on. I mean, is this really real? I mean, can some cyber criminal really forge my name off of the title of my home and then take over as a new owner? Turns out that they can. And then you might want to think that real estate crimes and losses are rare, right? No, wrong. Home title theft is a complete nightmare, and you're not covered by homeowners insurance or common identity theft programs. So, Home Title Lock, I did the research, they earned my trust. This is a rock solid company with some incredible technology. Here's how it works Home Title Lock puts a barrier around your home's title. The instant that they detect anyone tampering with your home's title, they just mobilize and they just shut them right down. So, I urge you to go to HometitleLock.com right now and take a look at the testimonials from FBI agents and various government officials, and then register your address to see if you're already a victim. Heck, you may not even know it. And when you sign up at HometitleLock.com to protect your home, make sure that you tell them that I sent you. Yes, Kim Commando. That's HometitleLock.com, HometitleLock.com. All right, coming up in this hour, oh my gosh, I had such a hard time trying to put it all together because there's so much that I want to tell you. We're going to talk about Apple AirTags and some ways that you might want to use them that you haven't thought of before. Oh, we have 4 insider secrets to getting the lowest hotel room rate online. And oh my gosh, you are all going to love this because I get this in my email all the time. I mean, Kim, I'm tired of Google. I want to get away from Google. What can I do to get away from Google forever and still have a whole bunch of cool stuff to use and to save my stuff and to get the cloud and the pictures and everything else that I get with Google? Well, that's coming up in our DIY security tip. Still to come this hour. And of course, we have all of your phone calls here on the Kim Commando Show. How'd you like to hear about how I saved $456 in just 5 minutes? I used an app called Rocket Money. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that finds and cancels your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps you lower your bills all in one place. Can you remember all the free trials and all the other random subscriptions that you've signed up for? Of course you don't, and that's what they're banking on. I love that with Rocket Money, I can see all of my subscriptions in one place. Then if I see something I don't want, I just tap to cancel, and I never have to get on the phone with customer service. Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has helped save its members an average of $720 a year, with over 500 million in canceled subscriptions. Stop wasting money on things that you just don't use. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions by going to rocketmoney.com/Kim. That's rocketmoney.com/Kim. rocketmoney.com/Kim. Hey, our T-Mobile Unlimited listener line is now open at 1-888-825-5254 is the way to join us. And just a quick reminder, if you're too shy to be on a national radio show, but you still have a plaguing question, or maybe you just have a great story to tell me, I'd love to hear them. Just head over to commando.com. That's Komando.com. And in the upper right-hand corner, there's a link that says Email Kim, and you fill that out. And then I read every single note that you sent me. As a matter of fact, there was one that a gentleman sent me. He's with one of our local affiliates. And he was telling me that he was like at a dollar store or something like that. Oh, Family Tree store he was. And on the PA system, you hear, hey, Susie, what's the password? I need to get into the store's computer. And Susie screamed across the floor, my password's 123456. Gosh. Could you imagine? Wow. Coming up in just a few moments, some great ways that you could be using Apple AirTags or those tile trackers. And how about we start this hour with Scott in Cape Coral, Florida. Hello there, Scott.
Hi, Kim.
Welcome.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me on. Big fan.
Appreciate that.
I got to tell you, I'm always amazed at the depth and breadth of your knowledge. It seems like there isn't a question that you don't have some kind of solution for.
Oh,
So,
you know what? It's my life's passion, really. I mean, when you don't do anything else but hang around tech all day, it's kind of like, and it's fun. It's fun. Well, thank you for your kind words. So, what's going on with you?
well, I had a question. In campgrounds, when you're camping, it's becoming so popular, and a lot of campgrounds provide internet, but it's not very good quality.
Right.
And then because the campgrounds are so large, they use, I don't know, relayers, I guess, to try to, get you good coverage. So I'm wondering, is there some way when you're in a bad coverage area to have your own rerouter or an external antenna you route into the camper? Or is there some way to capture that signal and get a better signal inside?
You know what, Scott? Absolutely, there is. How often do you go camping?
As often as I can.
Okay, all right. And so, because there are the cheapo solutions, there are the homegrown solutions, and then there's like the daddy dog solution, right?
Okay, well, maybe if this would help a little bit. We do travel to campgrounds, where you're just wheels up and rolling and seeing different places. But we also have a little place that's kind of a permanent little hidden spot in the Appalachian Mountains where we could set up something more permanent if it would.
Okay. All right. Have you done the Appalachian Trail?
No, I have not.
See, that's on my bucket list, but that's like a long time to really like be like out and about, one of those things. All right. So, what you can do, there's a company called Sea Crane, and they make a lot of Wi-Fi antennas. Okay. And what I'll do is I'll go through, I don't know what their current product line looks like. So let me go through and see which one that would be the best for you. And so basically what the whole idea is that you're going to have Wi-Fi, and then you're going to try to bring the signal in as close to wherever you guys are camping as possible. Now, there's only so much that it can do, right? I mean, you understand that. So it's like, if you only get 3 bars, maybe you'll get 3.5 bars or 4 bars. If you have 1 bar, maybe you get 2 bars, but there's no way that you're going to have like 1 bar and suddenly go up to 5 bars with an outdoor antenna. Okay.
Well, anything will help.
And then in addition to that, you also have to keep in mind, like, what type of thing might be obstructing that signal, as far as you need a clear, direct line of sight. Now, the ultimate solution is to pop a satellite dish on your roof, but that becomes really, really pricey. And there is this other solution. There's a company by the name of WineGuard rather. And WineGuard, they make antennas for all kinds of things. And they have this solution. They actually reached out to me, and I haven't had a chance to test it yet, but it sounds really good, is that they actually have made routers and Wi-Fi extenders that will not only use Wi-Fi, but that will also piggyback and use any type of 5G signal that you might have as well. So if you're sitting there and you have, a couple of bars on your cell phone and a couple of bars on Wi-Fi, then you can bring that in, and it's a router extender type of package. Now, it also works on 2.4 gigahertz and 5.8 gigahertz, but the range is phenomenal. It's up to 2 miles. And so,
wow.
So now you just said, wow. And so I hope you're sitting down, because the price is wow. Okay. We're not talking about a $150 antenna. We're not talking about a $200 antenna. We're not talking about a $500 antenna. Okay. We're talking about an $850 package. Okay. That gives you gigabit LAN. You have USB tethering. It's Cat 6. Like I said, it's just, if you're looking for the high performance solution that can get whatever's on the outside, put it on the inside, then this is something that you definitely want to take a look at. So what I'm going to do is, inside the Commando community, I'm going to post a link to this, as well as any type of Sea Crane antennas that I can find that are definitely very good. And they've had historically some really good reviews over time, as far as being able to bring in Wi-Fi from far places. And I'll post all that over inside the Commando community. And again, that's commando.com/community. I have to tell you about NetSuite. If you're still running QuickBooks, it's time to graduate to NetSuite by Oracle, the #1 cloud financial system. NetSuite's offering this one-of-a-kind financing program, so graduating has never been easier. Here's what I need you to do. Head over to netsuite.com/Kim. That's netsuite.com/Kim. Coming up, we have some creative ways to use those AirTags. And if you're fed up with Google, we've got the answer here on the Kim Commando Show. How'd you like to hear about how I saved $456 in just 5 minutes? I used an app called Rocket Money. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that finds and cancels your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps you lower your bills all in one place. Can you remember all the free trials and all the other random subscriptions that you've signed up for? Of course you don't, and that's what they're banking on. I love that with Rocket Money, I can see all of my subscriptions in one place. Then if I see something I don't want, I just tap to cancel, and I never have to get on the phone with customer service. Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has helped save its members an average of $720 a year, with over 500 million in canceled subscriptions. Stop wasting money on things that you just don't use. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions by going to rocketmoney.com/Kim. That's rocketmoney.com/Kim. rocketmoney.com/Kim. Hey, this portion of the show has been brought to you by CarShield. When your car breaks down, you can count on CarShield to help save you from expensive repairs, and they can get really expensive. Here's what you need to do. Go to carshield.com/Kim or call 800-391-8888 to save 10% on your plan. That's carshield.com/Kim. All right, let's talk about some Apple AirTags and some creative ways that you can use them. And I guess I'm talking about AirTags, but it also works for, tile trackers if you're on Android. So some ways that you can use these little trackers. You can put one on your pet's collar. You always know their location. I have one on my big, bad golden retriever, Abby. She's wonderful, really. You can put one in your purse, your wallet, your briefcase. Good idea if you're traveling. Throw one in your checked online baggage so that this way, if the airlines say, hey, we don't know where your baggage, you'll be like, I do. You can put one on the bottom of your bicycle seat. You can put one in the center console of your car, so you always know where you parked your car. If you have young children, throw one in their backpack. You can put one on your keychain. Of course, you should always have one on your keychain. And if you're shipping something expensive, a novel use is for you to put one of those in the box when it goes out on its way. All right, moments away from our DIY security tip. It's all about getting rid of Google for once and for all from your life forever. And how about we go back to the phones with Wesley in San Ramon, California. Hi there, Wesley.
Hi there. Thanks for taking my call.
You betcha. What's going on?
I use a MacBook Pro, and I keep my operating system up to date. And I use File Vault to keep my hard drive encrypted. So I'm wondering if websites can still track me such that I should use a VPN. And I'm also wondering if that has any effect on cookies.
Well, anytime you get on the internet, your ISP knows exactly where you're going, right? And so that's one way. When you use Google, they still know where you're going. If you have a Google account, if you're on Facebook, they're tracking. If you are on Facebook and you are always logged in, then anything that you do is it's really hard not to be tracked. What are you concerned about?
Nothing really, but just general idea that I don't like to be tracked,
Sure. I get it. And it's funny.
So keeping your hard drive encrypted, I thought maybe prevents outsiders from seeing what's on there.
Well, to a certain extent, yes, that is true. But when you're out on the internet and you are saving your preferences and there's cookies and you have your certain login accounts, and as you are going about your business, it's pretty hard not to be tracked. It's incredibly difficult to be tracked because you leave a footprint everywhere you go, a little digital trace. As a matter of fact, they say that, and they being the marketing companies, they say that there is an infinite number of data points that they are collecting on each and every one of us right now. It used to be like 20,000, 50,000, and now it's like No, because every time somebody goes online, they give them another piece of their data. And so you mentioned a VPN. A VPN is fabulous. It's a virtual private network, and of course, you've got all these different VPNs. And what it does is it will give you an encrypted tunnel from point A to point B. In addition to that, it also kind of like File Vault, it will prevent from certain files from being executable and allowing them to actually get through this network or this wall that you put in with a VPN. ExpressVPN has been a longtime sponsor of the show, and when I recommend, and I think everybody should be using a VPN, Wes, because it does give you that extra layer of security and precaution that you need. Now, there are tons of VPNs out there. You know what? I know, and a lot of them are free. Okay, and I know you're tempted to use the free versions, and gosh knows I love to save you money every time I turn around. But the deal with free VPNs is that, well, number one, that they are tracking everything that you do. Okay. Number two is that you're probably not going to have the best experience, meaning that it's going to slow you down. It may not give you all the different connections that you need, but primarily is that you don't have that true security. You may think you have it, but it's free. Anytime something's free, you're the product. You are it. Tag. And that's why I use ExpressVPN, because it's really kind of a funky thing. Is that everything that you do on that VPN is actually stored in the server's RAM, so nothing's ever written to a hard drive. And so with ExpressVPN, you can, sit back and be assured that nobody's going to be looking at any type of logs. And it's really wonderful that they have this type of technology. They're the only ones that do. They are sponsored, full disclosure. And with ExpressVPN, if you go to expressvpn.com/Kim, you're going to get 3 months free. But in answer to your question, anytime you go online, Wes, it's going to be tracked. You can do what you want, but anytime you have these online accounts, and we all have them, is that you're leaving, again, these data points. There are ways to be truly anonymous online, and it goes back to using the Tor browser, which, gosh, you could do that if you want, but still, you're still not truly anonymous because your ISP still knows everything that you're doing and still can be tracked that way. It's a slippery slope that we've come upon. And Wes, thank you so much for your call. Let's go ahead, and speaking of, let's talk about some alternatives to Google. All right. What the heck is going on with Google? I mean, you're tired of all the tracking. And this week it's brought to you by one of our great sponsors, Total AV. If you're sitting there with all the threats on the internet, phishing sites, password stealing, malware, this is another piece of the security puzzle that you need. You need a VPN, and you also need a really good antivirus program. Just one. I don't want you to stack 5 or 6. You just want one antivirus program. Total AV is the industry-leading security suite. It's easy to use. It's received the renowned VB100 award for detecting more than 99% of malware samples for the last 3 years in a row. And what I love about ExpressVPN is that, this protection plan covers up to 5 of your or your loved one devices under a single plan. That's it, one plan. And because you're a Kim Commando Show listener, I've negotiated an exclusive discount for you, an introductory discount. You get the first year of Total AV for just $19, right? And that's for those 5 devices. And so whether you're on Windows, Mac, iOS, or Android, just install the Easy Use app and you're protected. But you have to go to this address, protectwithkim.com. Once again, protectwithkim.com. All right, Google. Wow, they know a lot about all of us, don't they? And if you're tired of being tracked, tired of sharing your entire digital life with them, and tired of just saying, you know what, they just have their claws into so many things. First of all, you stop using google.com. So what can you use then? You can use DuckDuckGo. I'm not a huge fan. And, before you decide to go with DuckDuckGo, what I want you to do is to do the same search at DuckDuckGo as you would with Start Page. And I think you're going to find that Start Page gives you better search results. Why? Because Start Page actually pays Google for the use of its search algorithm, but that strips out all the tracking and advertising that comes along with it. So you got other alternatives. Ecosia. What is that? Yes, it's a search engine, but every time you use it, they're generating some money and with some advertising, and then they're planting trees. There's Dogpile, that's been around forever. Kiddle, that's if you got little ones at home. You've got Quaint. There's also one called Swiss Cows. Don't bother about writing all these down, because what we're going to do is give you the link to the whole list. So if you're don't want to use Safari or Edge, Okay. You don't want to use Chrome. There's Mozilla Firefox. And then there's the Tor browser I just mentioned to Wes. It's an encrypted browser. It keeps your browsing habits secret. What if you don't want to use Gmail anymore? Okay, there's MailFence, there's Start Mail, there's Proton Mail, there's Signal. Now, what about YouTube? I don't want to use YouTube anymore. There's Rumble, there's HookTube, there's Vimeo. You can store pictures without Google with Amazon Photos. You may not know this, but you get unlimited full resolution photo storage from being an Amazon Prime member. There's iDrive, there's iCloud. You can use Apple Maps, and here we go. So there are some options. So if you're sitting there and you're thinking to yourself, I am just so sick and tired of Google having total control over me and my data, head over to komando.com. That's komando.com. And when you're there, just click the link at the top that says Kim Show. Still to come this hour, how to make sure that Amazon Alexa isn't keeping your recordings. And we have more of your great phone calls here on the Kim Komando Show. How'd you like to hear about how I saved $456 in just 5 minutes? I used an app called Rocket Money. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that finds and cancels your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps you lower your bills all in one place. Can you remember all the free trials and all the other random subscriptions that you've signed up for? Of course you don't, and that's what they're banking on. I love that with Rocket Money, I can see all of my subscriptions in one place. Then if I see something I don't want, I just tap to cancel, and I never have to get on the phone with customer service. Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has helped save its members an average of $720 a year, with over 500 million in canceled subscriptions. Stop wasting money on things that you just don't use. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions by going to rocketmoney.com/Kim. That's rocketmoney.com/Kim. rocketmoney.com/Kim. Hey, this portion of the show has been brought to you by RoboForm. If you're tired of writing down passwords, you don't have to do that anymore. RoboForm Password Manager makes life easier and more secure by logging you into websites with just one click. And you can get 50% off at roboform.com/Kim. That's roboform.com/Kim. All right, before we go back to your phone calls, some insider secrets to getting the lowest hotel room rate online. Okay. First of all, if you want to do this, you need a strategy and you need some time. Okay, where do you start? Kayak, Expedia, or Hotels.com. Those are some really good places to start. But the first secret is that you want to find the lowest rate at all these sites and then call the hotel's reservation desk directly. Because a lot of hotels, if you say, hey, listen, I found this rate online, can you meet it or beat it, that they really will actually do that if you book with them, or you might get some extra amenities if you book with them. Maybe you'll get like a free breakfast or something like that. Number two, if you really can, you wait until the day that you need it to book a hotel room. I mean, this makes only sense if you're not traveling to like Waikiki or Miami or a really busy place, or if you're traveling for a convention, because you're probably not going to find a hotel room there. But if you do, hoteltonight.com and One Night can also help you score deals. Those two sites, Hotel Tonight and One Night. Number three is start thinking about your memberships. AAA members, AARP members, seniors, government employees, students, military. You also qualify a lot of times for discounted hotel rooms. And finally, secret number four is the number four, right? 4 in the afternoon on the day that you need a hotel room. Because why? Hotels know that the odds of you securing or them selling that hotel room at like 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon, it's going to be pretty slim. And then that's when they're going to give you like a really smoking deal. Or what I do is I always ask for an upgrade. I mean, is there an upgrade? One time I got an upgrade to the presidential suite. I was like, yes, so nice. All right, still to come this hour, we're going to tell you how you can make sure that Alexa isn't keeping your recordings. And back to the phones we go with Candace in Camden, Maine. Hi, Candace.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. Good. How can I help you out today?
So I'm going to be opening a day spa, and I'm hoping you can help me weed through all of the software out there marketed towards spas and such, and help me pick the best one for like a one-person show.
Well, this is really exciting, isn't it?
Yes.
And so how long have you been planning this?
I started planning in January, and I'm getting closer every day. All the major stuff is done, and I'm really just working now on the advertising pieces.
And then how is your spa going to be different? What's the big draw going to be?
I've never been asked that question. Well, I mean, I primarily just do Botox and fillers, and it's something I've been doing at another spa for many years, and I'm just excited to be able to have my own brick and mortar and put my own flair on it.
Well, you know what? I'm happy for you. I'm proud of you. I'm excited for you. I mean,
Thank you.
there's nothing like being an entrepreneur, but I always warn other entrepreneurs is that you're going to work your butt off. It's just, okay. It's just, there's no ways around it. And I mean, even now, if I see a light bulb, I just change the light bulb instead of asking somebody to go change the light bulb. I mean, it's just, it just becomes your passion. And it's, for me, sometimes it's like, okay, I want to go to sleep, but I have all these crazy ideas in my head. Just stop it already. Just stop.
Yeah, I hear you. It becomes like all consuming. Like you have one thing after another that pops up that requires your attention.
Yes, it does. And multitasking. And I'll tell you one of the things that I have found, and I have tried all the programs. I mean, I'm telling you, like Evernote, reminders. I mean, as far as like, oh, this is going to be great. I'm finally going to stay organized. I tried the bullet journal. I don't know if you tried the bullet journal. That's a big craze. And now I just write everything down in a composition pad. And it seems to help me, And it's like, you think like with all this tech around me, be like, oh, Siri, remind me to, no, just write it down. Just get it down.
I have my composition notebook in front of me.
Excellent. Yay. All right. Okay. So let me tell you about a website that can help out. And because I really want you to do the research. I can't say, because I don't know enough about you and what you're planning and how, I mean, but I can tell you that, of course, it's going to, this is going to have to be HIPAA compliant. It's going to need scheduling and invoicing. If it did some email marketing along the way when you're having a special, right? Summer's here, get rid of all those lines or whatever you wanted to say along the way.
Yeah.
And so if it could also integrate and give you reminders for inventory control and just to have that focal point of like a whole business management system, is that there's a company called Capterra, and that's CAPTERRA, Capterra.com. And what Capterra does is that you will type in medical spa software, okay? And then it'll come up and say, there's Booker, MindBody, or Demand Force, and a whole bunch of others. And they'll give you a feature list of each one. And then you can compare, then you check the box and you say, I want to compare this one against this one against this one. And then it tells you how much it is. Okay. So, and it does it all for free. Okay. So now you're sitting there saying, all right, Kim, it's for free. So like, how are they making their money? Okay. Right. Okay. So when you look at these lists, I want you to pay attention because the ones on the top will say sponsored. Okay. And so if they're sponsored, they may not be the best, right? They might be the best, but it's you're never too sure that it's the best. And so, and they have they'll say, do you want to talk to somebody? Do you want to chat with somebody? You're smart. You're just going to go in there and look at the research and you're going to figure out how much it is. And then once you get the name, that's when I would Google the name of the product, like Booker or like MindBody, and Google the name with the word review.
Yep.
And then you'll be able to get some unbiased reviews, probably from people who either love it or hate it. And then that can kind of send you on your way. So, I can't be an expert in everything, but I can tell you where to go for the research. And it's not through Google. And it's at this Capterra site. And that's CAPTERRA, Capterra.com. Now, when you get settled on one, Candace, would you drop me a note back and tell me which one you selected? And why you selected it, and keep me posted. Now, as you get your business going, if you need help with email marketing or advertising or SEO, Facebook advertising or whatever, give me a call back, because then I'll help you take this business to the next level by using the right digital resources. Candace, thank you so much for your call. Hey, just a quick reminder, if you're listening to the show gets interrupted for whatever the reason, you can get all 3 hours of the Kim Commando Show as a webcast, as a podcast over at getkim.com. Once again, that's getkim.com, getkim.com. All right, it is truly a dichotomy, isn't it? That Amazon says that your Echo device isn't listening all the time. Amazon says it's only listening for the wake word. You're like, what? Okay, so how can you be sure that Amazon is not keeping a record of everything that you say? Okay. Well, Amazon says that it keeps recordings of your voice commands to, quote unquote, this is what they say, improve the accuracy of your interactions with Alexa. Great, thanks. But who knows who has access to all these recordings and what they're doing with it? So first I want you to do is open the Alexa app on your iOS or Android. It's a little hard to find, but there's a menu option that says manage your Alexa data. That's where the magic is. That's where you stop recordings. You can tap choose how long to save recordings, then pick don't save any recordings. Now, the good news is this also wipes out any of your recordings on Amazon servers. Now, if you need the exact steps on how to do this, look no further than the official homepage of the Kim Commando Show, which is KOMANDO.com. And stay right where you are. We have another jam-packed hour that you don't want to miss here on the Westar Multimedia Network. You got me. It's Kim Commando today, and I'm here with you just the facts and tips you need to thrive in our digital world. Or, as I like to say, to live the best digital life ever.